Hey everyone, and welcome to our little breakdown of the 2018 Ducati model lineup that has just been released at the EICMA show in Milan. Now you're getting five new motorcycles out of Ducati this year with sub bikes within the particular lines. Plus you're also getting a new Multistrada Enduro Pro. You're also getting new colours on your XDR, for example. But the big bikes that have been released, the 821 Monster, we have tested that bike as well. So if you go onto our YouTube channel, you'll see our first ride that was put up a couple of weeks ago. You're also going to get three new versions of the Scrambler 1100. So that's going to be the largest capacity scrambler that's going to be out there by quite some margin as well. You're getting a 1260, well it's actually 1262cc, but they're calling it 1260. Multistrada 1260, which also comes out in the Pikes Peak edition as well. Moving on to the sports bikes, you then get the Panigale 959 Corsa, which is that sweet gem of a bike, that 959 with new Öhlins forks, new exhaust, a new Krapovic exhaust system, and Davizioso inspired paint, I guess you would say. But look, the big one, the thing that everyone wants to know about, it's the new V4 Panigale. Now, the V4 Panigale has been the worst kept secret in motorcycling for, it seems like at least a year or so by now. And yeah, look, it's just been released. It's a stunner, seriously. Like it's a beautiful motorcycle. Looks very much like it's kind of like the old Panigale went to the gym and sort of hit the gear a little bit and come out fighting. Yeah, so the new V4, beautiful looking motorcycle, comes out in 3 iterations for this model. Now, the big thing that you'll notice is this one is not 1000cc. The new Panigale V4 comes out in 1103cc, which makes it completely against any form of nationally sort of accredited superbike racing, which is 1200cc twins and 1000cc V4s. Ducati doesn't care about that, not for this one at least, because later on next year they're going to be releasing the Chaz Davies Special, which is going to be a V4, which will be a 999cc V4, which will go up against the bikes from Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, for example. But anyway, the 1103cc V4, according to Ducati, is cranking out a whopping 214 horsepower. Now, look, serious numbers for a production motorcycle. That's pretty astounding stuff. World Superbikes back in 5-6 years ago weren't pumping those kind of numbers really. So yeah, look, like an amazing thing from Ducati to even say that they've got that kind of level of power. And then you can go throw the Krapovic exhaust system, which they've got as a Ducati Corsa part, and then you get 226 horsepower out of the thing. Jesus. I don't know many riders that can handle 150 horsepower properly, let alone 226. So I'm certainly not one of them. But anyway, let's get into it. So the V4, the big thing about the V4, obviously it runs the Desmo valve train system. It's got all new intakes, bigger airbox, all that sort of stuff. But the big thing is the fact that the crank rotates in the opposite direction, the same thing as what you get on a MotoGP bike. Now, the reason they've done that is purely so that under acceleration, obviously with the wheels going that way and the crank going that way, the crank, the inertia that's pumped out by the wheels, the crank's kind of trying to basically meet it in the middle effectively. So it's trying to mitigate those front end wheelies that you're going to get on a 214 horsepower bike. The thing's going to wheelie its head off. But with the electronic systems, a bit of riding technique, and also this crank, it'll hopefully come out and you'll be on the right side of it. Now, also on the rear, the fact that the crank's going in the other direction is also designed to sort of pull the back end down and make it a little bit stable, a little bit more stable under braking. Now, this thing's been commonplace in MotoGP for years, so it's really cool to see it finally come to the street on a Ducati. So, yeah, happy days. Now, the frame itself is still the monocoque design. They have not gone the twin spar design like they've got on their MotoGP race bikes. For this year, the new thing is it's called a front frame, effectively. So it's a beefier version than what they had on the twin cylinder monocoque. It's still the same basic thing where the top of the front subframe, I guess you would say, or front frame, bolts to the top of the engine, and then you've got the seat and the rear subframe bolts to the back, and then the engine is the stress member in the middle of the chassis. So it's still the same basic design, although everything's been beefed up because you have a bigger and heavier engine. But yeah, it's going to be a similar type of setup. Now the suspension as well for the V4, if you buy yourself a V4, standard V4, you're going to get Sachs conventional suspension, so no electronic adjustment. But if you then up the game and go and get yourself a V4S, or if you're one of the very lucky 1,500 people that gets themselves a V4 Speciale, you're going to be able to get the brand new Öhlins Smart SC 2.0, I think, to give it its correct name. You're going to get that as its new electronic suspension. So that's something that Öhlins been working on for a long time, and yeah, it's going to be the latest and greatest from Öhlins. Plus, on the electronic side, furthermore, you're going to end up getting the whole plethora of electronic upgrades, electronic rider aids, I should say, for everything. You know, your traction control, wheelie control, slide control, launch control, quick shifter, everything. You know, probably make you a cappuccino control as well. Look, this thing, this is the tour de force from Ducati for next year. I mean, I alluded a little bit earlier to Speciale. So the Speciale is the one of 1,500. If you are very lucky to get yourself one of 1,500, you're going to get a very special bike. I mean, far out. That thing is awesome looking. Tricolor in the traditional Ducati special bikes. But the main thing is it's got less weight. It's got about 10 kilo, I think, less weight, and it's got 226 horsepower, I think the Ducati claimed. Eesh. So look, pretty special stuff. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Now we've got the Ducati 959 Corsa, the Panigale Corsa. That's going to be, it's not going to be too different to what you're going to have previously. You're going to get NIX 30 forks and a TTX 36 rear shock. So really good, you know, tunable suspension, nice stuff from Öhlins. You're also going to get the Dovizioso inspired paint livery, and you're also going to get a new Akrapovic exhaust system as well. So yeah, just nice little touch-ups just to make sure that the Panigale, the little 959 doesn't get too overshadowed, I should say, excuse me, too overshadowed by the new V4. One of the other ones also is the fact that there is the new Scrambler as well. So the Scrambler is coming out in 3 different configurations for the new 1100. So yeah, 1100cc V-twin that it's getting the new motor. So you're going to get it in like traditional Scrambler yellow. You're also going to get the special version, which is going to have like brushed aluminum, aluminum, I should say, beg your pardon. Brushed aluminum sort of swing arm and different tank design, or different tank paint, and a really nice seat, different type of leather on the seat, and then you can further onto the Sport Edition, which is going to have Öhlins suspension and I think they call it a Viper Black paint scheme. Like, pretty cool. So yeah, that's probably going to sell probably more than most of the bikes that's out there at the moment, to be honest, because, like, you know, it's a Scrambler and those things sell. They're a great looking bike. I love that little, what is now the mid-sized Scrambler, which is the first one that came out. I think that's just a fantastic bike. Yeah, so they're gonna sell like hotcakes. We'll test one too, so we'll let you know. Now the Ducati Multistrada 1260 is the new one from Ducati with basically just a bigger engine. Everything are like different graphics and that, but it's essentially the same bike. Got the DVT Ducati valve timing engine as well. So yeah, just hiked up the capacity for a few more ponies, which is kind of what seems to be happening in that class, that sort of adventure touring type thing, where you're getting these big behemoths that can get off-road fairly comfortably. But there's also the Multistrada Enduro Pro, which is going to be a model that's going to be coming out in the US as well. So yeah, look out for those ones. Also, you have the Ducati Monster 821. Now, we rode the 821 in Rimini a couple of weeks ago. Really sweet little bike. Not too different to what you've had before. I mean, the 821's been out for, I think, 3 years now. But yeah, look, this one's got a new dash. It's got a new exhaust. New yellow as well, like say new yellow, it's the old yellow. It's the oldest yellow that came out when the original Monster came out back in end of 1992, start of 1993. So yeah, the yellow Ducati is back, which I'm really stoked about. But yeah, so we've tested that. So if you go onto our YouTube channel and check it out, you'll see our full review on that bike there. But the rest of those bikes, we'll definitely be giving them a good hard thrash. And oh, I can't wait to ride that V4. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, so Ducati's really put the ball rolling for this year's EICMA show. It's going to be interesting to see what the other guys come out with as well. But yeah, stay tuned to Cycle News and we'll have the latest for you when we get it. Cheers guys, bye.